Hi friends, it's Auntie Cuckoo, and it's Monday, so you know what that means. It is Make Dinner with Me Monday, and today we're going to make some lasagna. Now, I don't claim to be any sort of Italian or have any sort of tricks up my sleeve when it comes to lasagna. I just am going to share how I do it. We are always crunched for time, and so I have found this way to do it, which is pretty easy and straightforward. Now, you'll see I have two pans. So, my kids don't love lasagna. They eat everything, but the cheesy part scares them. Now, I know most people will use ricotta, but I actually use the low-fat cottage cheese. I don't put egg in it. I just sprinkle it with some Parmesan, some salt and pepper, and some of my Italian seasonings here. And I'm very flexible when it comes to those sort of things in recipes. It's kind of what we have on hand. Like, for instance, right now we don't have mozzarella, but we have a ton of this Monterey Jack, and they're very similar in taste. So we're going to do Monterey Jack. So I picked up these noodles. They're the kind that cook while they're in the oven. So I love that. It makes things a lot easier. And I'll have to break them to fit them in the smaller, I think these are 8x8s. And the reason, getting back to that, why I have two is the kids don't love that. So I make one that's just mainly noodles with the meat sauce and the cheese. And then I will go ahead and make one that's more traditional with the cottage. So what I do first is get everything out. I usually make just a really big portion of spaghetti sauce, and then a few days later we make lasagna. And so I have about a quarter of a container full and this one completely full. And the way I do it is I just put a little bit of sauce in the bottom of the pans and then start putting in my pasta. And it's raw, it's not cooked. And you can buy specific lasagna, like this one says it is oven ready, that'll do that. But I think most traditional pastas will do it as well. They just soak up the liquid from your sauce. So let me go ahead and get started. Put the camera down. I'm going to put a little bit of sauce in each pan and get my noodles out, and then I'll show you guys as I layer it. Alright, you guys, I just put a little bit of sauce at the bottom of each pan, and that is for the moisture for the noodles, the first layer to cook. And then I just start breaking the noodles if I need to fit the size of the pan. They don't need to be perfect. As you can see, there's pieces here, and I'm not worried about that. It's all going to cook and be fine. So, as you can see here, I basically used two noodles, snapped off their ends, and then put the extra pieces here. And then I haven't put my noodles in here. I just wanted to show you how much sauce I have at the bottom. It's enough to just coat the bottom. You can still see a little bit of the pan, but just a bit. And now I'm going to go ahead and put noodles in this one, and then I'll come right back so you can see how I do the next layer. Alright, so as you can see, I have both pans lined with their first layer of noodles. And now for this one, the kids version, what I'm going to do is sauce and then another layer of the noodles. Now this is a meat sauce. It's just my traditional spaghetti sauce. And with this one, I'm going to go straight in now with the cottage cheese. And I like to have a little bit of oregano and basil. They're just dried, nothing fancy. I just add that and some Parmesan on top of my cottage cheese. I don't even mix it in, you guys. This is an option too. If you like garlic, you could always do a little sprinkle of the granulated garlic, salt and pepper to taste. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to do red sauce here, and then another layer of the noodles. And here I'm just going to go ahead and put on my cottage cheese, sprinkle it with a little Parmesan and my herbs, and probably some salt and pepper, and then we'll be right back. All right, so just a little bit of progress. I've done the cottage cheese, topped it with some Parmesan, some salt, some pepper, and a little sprinkle, as you can see, very lightly of the oregano and basil. And then this one I just put some sauce on. I gotta do my noodles here. So we'll do one more layer of noodles. Now at this point you can, since this is, meat sauce on top of your noodles and it's the traditional cheese portion, I think I'm gonna go ahead and put some Parmesan because the kids like that, and I'm gonna do a sprinkle of the Monterey Jack. Now I do have one child who doesn't love cheese, so it's not gonna be a heavy layer, but just to put a little bit to stick to the noodles and bind it together. I feel like lasagna is very artsy, like you can just layer it and it's usually amazing. So I'm going to do that and then we'll come back and do the next layer together. All right, now we've got noodles on both sides, the adult version and the kid-friendly version. As you can see, it's just a light sprinkle of cheese because we have a cheese hater in the house who's behind me giving me the evil eye. So now I'm going to go ahead and do a nice layer of sauce on both, and then we'll go forward from there. All right, guys, so here we have it. We've got sauce on both. It's a pretty good, generous portion of sauce. It'll bubble over and cook down and be great. Now with the adult version, what I'm going to do now is one more layer of noodles, a light layer. I'm sorry, I take that back. All right, and we're back. We have our sauce on both dishes. Now with my adult version, as you can see, it's getting quite full because of that layer of the cottage cheese, whereas this one still has quite a bit of room. So now I'm gonna do, on top of the sauce, some Parmesan, just to sprinkle some of the shredded cheese, one layer of noodles, and then top it with my sauce, and it will be done. Now with this one, I'm gonna go similar. I'm gonna do a little bit, sprinkle lightly of the Monterey Jack, Parmesan, noodles, and sauce. And then if I feel like this one's thick enough, this one will be done too. If not, I'll just repeat that and do one more layer. And so right now I'm gonna go ahead and put my noodles down. No, I'm not. I take that back. I'm going to sprinkle with Parmesan, and just so you can get an idea, this I can do left-handed. I've got to learn how to get this set up so you guys can see it while I'm actually working. I like to do that better than in takes. So that's the amount we're working with, okay? I don't go crazy. This is a really healthy version of lasagna because it is the low-fat cottage cheese. Also, my meat sauce is a ground turkey. So there we go. We've got our Parmesan. Now with the kids, I'm just going to do lightly, like not even to the layer of a pizza. Like you're seeing mostly Parmesan, one sprinkled lightly hand there. With the adult version, I'll be a little more liberal because we do like cheese. And just do that. Get a little bit more in this corner here. And there you have it. So now I'm going to do noodles on both, and we'll see what they look like, how tall they are, and we might just be done. All right, we have our layer of noodles here on top. Now with this one, you can see how full it is. So I'm actually going to top it just lightly with sauce. And as the sauce warms up, it will liquefy a little more and come up to the top and cook these noodles. So just a very light sauce on here. This one isn't super thick, but I think it's going to be good as well. I'm going to go a little heavier on my sauce here. And what I do is I'll do the sauce and then show you guys before I put it in the oven. But I will let it bake, and then before I pull it out, I will top them with cheese. Now this one, because we have someone who doesn't love cheese in the house, I'll take a section and I'll top it with cheese really well over here and then sparingly on one side. And the beauty of doing it this way is the kids will eat this whole pan tonight. And then my husband and I will enjoy this version, and there will be leftovers for his lunches during the week. So we like to do that too. So let me go ahead and put the sauce on top, and then we'll show you right before we put it in the oven. All right, guys, there they are. They're going in. I've got the oven at 400 degrees, and I'm going to put these in, and I'll check on them periodically till the sauce is bubbling and coming along. Make sure that it's not too hot. Now, as you can see, I did put my raggedy old tin down here, my cookie sheet. It's like dirty secret number 2. And I did that because this one's a little more full, just in case the liquid gets wild and decides to bubble over. It'll get on this and not the inside of my oven. I'm not afraid of that happening with this one. So we'll go ahead and put this in. It's not preheated, as you can tell, because I'm touching it. And yeah, I'll show you guys once it's finished. That's my easy lasagna for both grown-ups and children. All right, there we have it, guys. It's cooked, it's cooling. As you can see, there's a little bit of burnt edges around the sides here. That was not on purpose. I took my son over to a park so he could play, and I did some walking and just left it in probably about 10 minutes too long. But that's okay. I would say cook this anywhere from 45 to 50 minutes, and it was in longer than that. Still good. The noodles are soft and cooked through. So I'm gonna go ahead and plate it, and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, there we have it. It's all plated. So this is the kid-friendly version. As you can see, way more noodles and sauce. And this is the more grown-up version. A lot more cheesy and gooey and yummy and floppy. So we've got our lasagna ready. We got garlic bread from Dollar Tree, our lettuce and croutons from 99 cents only. And you know what that means, guys. It's dinner time.